My client wants to know the possibility of building an ADU on the property. And so what is the best place to look for that? Would I look at the CCNRs in the prelim, or would I look for within Solano County?
Yeah, so it all
Guideline.
depends on where the property is located. If it's an in-town property, you would want to check the best places to check with the county building or the city building department. If it's out in the country, then you'd want to check with the county to verify. But as for Solano County, for the most part, if the property is over an acre or bigger, you can build and you have two houses, one property, one house any size, and then one separate unit that is, I believe they just recently bumped it up to 1,800 square feet. It was at 1,500 square feet, but I believe one is 18 now, so you can build those two. And then you can also have an attached kind of like in-law quarters, but it's not supposed to have a full kitchen, I believe is the attached. So you can actually have 3 units on just about any property over an acre in Solano County.
Okay.
Less
than
if
How
it's
about
less than an acre, if it's in town, I believe
Yeah.
it has to be like 9,000 or 10,000 square feet for the new law that just passed.
the lot size, you mean?
Yeah, the
Or
lot size,
Yeah,
and
okay.
then you can add a auxiliary dwelling unit to the property. Again, you would want to verify with the city building department. And then I know there's some rules that if you keep the ADU unit below, it's like 750 square feet, then you avoid a lot of the additional permit fees. There's no additional school permit fees and stuff associated with that if you keep it on that lower end.
Okay. For city building department, that would mean like, if it's in Vacaville, you check with the Vacaville building department.
Yep.
Okay. Then, if they were to take on the project, I mean, essentially the contractor that they hire should know all, I mean, I would assume so. Obviously, right? Like they would know all the restrictions and the process.
They should know, yes.
Okay, so I'll just tell them at the end of the day, the contractor should be able to educate
I want
you
to
on-
go back to that because
Okay.
I have the same thing. I have the same question. So look at this. I don't know. Can you see this? Maybe no. Because it says that the Solano County, it's at 1,500 square feet, but you have to be zoned RR. Are you saying that changed, Amy, to 1,800 square feet?
I thought they were updating it to 1,800. I was under the impression it was. I haven't verified it yet that it has, but I believe they were bumping it. And RR is just rural residential.
And it's over 1 acre.
It's generally considered rural residential if it's over an acre.
Okay. But go to the county and talk to them.
Yeah, so if
Really?
it's outside the city limits, you go to the county to verify all information, and inside the city limits would be whatever city it is, the building department.
Okay.
And the Solano County is pretty responsive, even via email, that they'll usually respond. If you give them the APN number and your questions, they're usually pretty good at responding via email.
I would say, I know I checked for a property and it was out of city limits and it was still the 1,500, not 18.
Not 18, yeah.
But that
some
was,
talk of changing it,
yeah.
but
yeah, and I feel like that was when I talked to, it's been a few months, so but when I talked to them, they had said that was not for out of sight. Is that, it could have been inside city limits. There was something with that. Like the guy was like, I thought I heard something like that, but it wasn't. At least it was, because that we determined us not moving on to our in-laws property because we wanted a little bit bigger than 1,500 square feet. So yeah. So anyways, that's my 2 cents. But they are very responsive. Even if you call, I got a phone call quickly back, like within minutes. Like, so yeah.
overall, they're pretty nice at the county office.
Hallelujah.
They like to get their money, but they're pretty nice.
So on that, Amy, on that note for an ADU, there's a property in Dixon, it's in the city. And it says that they're selling 2 houses on one lot, but they have different addresses. And to me, when I look at the picture, it's like a house and next door neighbor house. Like it's huge area. How do your client needs to look at that, or we need to look at it? Or can we look at that to help
You
them?
can, if you have questions about the permitting of a property, or the client does, ultimately you should go with the client and have the client ask the questions, but there are multiple properties inside Dixon city limits that have 2 properties on them or are zoned for multifamily housing.
Mhm.
That do allow in their larger lot sizes where you can have 2 single family residences like that on a single lot. So it's
Because I
not
think
uncommon in Dixon to come across those.
Because I want to say that it said that, and they have 2 different addresses, so that's okay to put another
Yeah.
address on another. Oh, okay.
In fact,
Maybe-
most of the time, you'll notice that like the addresses on properties go up by like 6 at a time or whatever. And that's to
Mhm.
leave space for like auxiliary dwelling units or future splits of properties. What's the, hold on,
I knew you're gonna ask me. That's why I'm trying to look. I think it's 170 West Walnut.
I think I looked at this one.
It's by Ted Seifert. I was trying to talk to him, but he's in Texas and says he doesn't have any service. So I haven't, it's been like a day every time we're responding. It's 170 and 190, I know. I think it's West Walnut.
All right, so let's look at 170. And you said it was West Walnut?
Yeah. I know, I guess one of them has like a 6-inch sloping on the one side of the house. So he was like, well, I can break it down, but is it an ADU or is it actually a house? You know, like, and I was like, good questions. I don't know.
All right, so we have 170 West Walnut. Let's
Yeah,
check.
see, so the house is on the right and on the left of that rectangle.
But all
There's
still
one
within
right
that.
there. There's one right there where your cursor is, and then
Uh-huh.
there's one to the far left under that tree. Yep.
So it's all on the same parcel.
Okay.
So if we look at the report for this one,
Robert Baloney.
Robert Baloney.
He has a first name. It's not Robert.
ROBRT.
I'm so happy you did that. My brain started doing that over here.
So it looks like it's probably got an auxiliary dwelling unit on it. It looks like the original property that's listed here, because I was just looking to see whether it said multifamily or not, and it looks like it's rated as single family residential.
Hmm.
So I would absolutely recommend going down to the city planning department and just double checking that both units are permitted if you were thinking about purchasing it.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, because we were thinking that the small one was the ADU, but I'm wondering if the small one is actually the house now because 704.
Yeah, it was built in 1952, so chances are the small one is the original house on that property, and then they built a new house.
Oh, wow. So the new house is better than the original.
Yep.
Okay.
So yeah. Robert Baloney.
Well, shame on Robert Baloney for not taking care of his property.
Well, if the house sinks, the house sinks. I don't know if that's taking care of it or not.
It's kind of weird. You saw the pictures. It's like all the rooms are have this huge downslope. So like even in the kitchen, like it's like the fridge is right here to the slope, and then the
Uh-huh.
slope goes. It's like one of those funny rooms.
Yeah.
But I mean, it seems pretty cheap. It's like 400.
Yeah, that's not bad.
It's like if you could have two rental properties on it.
Yeah, that would be a win, right? If you had to do a little bit of work to jack it up and get it leveled out.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why he was like, I want to know if there's a slab under it, if it's, all this stuff. So I was trying to ask the guy, but Good Seifert. He seemed really nice.
Good.
His name sounds familiar to me, but anyways. Okay, well, that's good. Thank you.
Yep.
I'll look into that.
What additional questions do we have today?
Do you have any tips or trades for finding distressed properties? I have an investor looking to buy and flips, and I can't seem to, I mean, I look on the MLS for, I'm looking for like really, like 3 beds, 200,000, but those aren't listed. Then I'm looking at the foreclosures, but I'm looking at something that he wants, like maybe a 3 bedroom that needs probably about 50,000 worth of work in, getting in at under 200. So
He's in the wrong state. So I would say your best bet for that is that you would want to, I mean, one way to look for distressed properties would be to check the newspaper in the areas in which they're interested, because any of your foreclosure properties are going to have a notice of trustees sale where they can go actually pick them up on the courthouse steps. You wouldn't make anything off the purchase necessarily, but you would get the flip of that property, so it'd be worthwhile. But you can, they do still have trustee sale notices that go out in the papers with the date of the trustee sale. So anything that was being foreclosed on, whether it was from property tax liens or failure to pay on a mortgage or anything like that, would show up in the newspaper under that notice of trustee sale.
I've been looking also on the MLS for the for the trustee sales and all that, looking at the ones that have the gavel on it and finding the dates for those. I think I'm just going to give him a list of different properties, because I'm working with this guy and say, look, dude, we need to get cashier's checks, go down to the courthouse and purchase these and watch these properties and get them on the auction.
Yeah, so all those notices get recorded. So they're coming up in the newspaper. They're required to post them all in the newspapers. You just have to figure out which newspapers show them.
All right, we'll do.
Yep. And that is
I have
one
a
way to pick up
question.
properties if you've got cash.
I have a question.
Yes.
So tomorrow is my first time handing keys over to my clients because they're they had the 60-day rent back. So I just go over, hand them the keys, walk them through the property. That's it. I have a basket for them and yeah.
Yeah, so you're just gonna go pull keys, walk through, make sure it's still, even though you should have done a final walkthrough, you're still gonna verify that it's in the condition it should have been in, right? That nothing was damaged since you did that walkthrough. Hand over keys. I usually like to maybe print up a copy of the home warranty information if they had a home warranty.
Mhm.
And that way
Find
they
that
have-
through the company,
say
the
that
original
again?
company. Find that through the original company
Yeah,
that I used. Okay.
and then that
Oh,
way,
sorry. That lady has one that has the book in the back of the office from the one. What one was she, Amy? The one that you told me? Lisa Visa, whatever
Well,
home company she does. She has the books. She has the books that shows what's covered and all
Oh,
the
yeah.
breakdown. Yeah.
yeah, so if you, so I like to at least bring the confirmation over so they are reminded like, hey, this is who we have and here's the information on it. But even better if you can go, usually the title company or the reps have the little pamphlets that show what's covered under the home warranty. You can hand that off as well. It's just helpful, a good reminder that, hey, if something happens over this next week, like you can call your home warranty and they'll take care of it, right? And here's the information to do so. But other than that, keys, and then like you said, you've got a basket, so you can always hand that off, or you could sit on the basket for like a week and drop it off to them next week as a way to kind of just touch base with them.
Okay.
Yep,
Thank you.
but that's it. And then once you pull the keys, usually we pull the keys from the lockbox. I usually verify with the listing agent ahead of time. Once you pull the keys, then I usually will text the other agent and say, hey, just a heads up, I've pulled the keys out of the lockbox so you can remove it at any time. So we just, just kind of keep that on their radar screen. And then that's really about it.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, do I need to call the title company to release funds or anything like that? If,
Yeah, so if there were funds held for rent back or a deposit, like a possession fee, then I usually will email the title company and CC the other agent and say, hey, possession's been delivered, everything looks good. Please go ahead and release the deposit back to the seller or release the rent funds to the buyer or whatever needs to be released. And then most title companies anymore just need an email confirmation from both agents, but sometimes they'll put together a document that needs to be signed off.
thank you.
Yep. Anybody else? Questions?
Question for you.
Yes.
What I'm looking as my plan right now is to work with these investors, and I'm trying to get it so that we can get a lender or a private lender to whatever and start buying these properties. What I'm looking at is purchasing and flipping type situation. Is there a way to do it so that there's no, like, is there like a 60-day before you have to make a payment type thing? Or is there someone I could talk to that kind of specializes in that? Because that's kind of what I'm looking at getting into, compared to just being residential sales.
Yeah, absolutely. So anytime you do a loan on a property, you're going to pay interest on that loan from the date that you close on it. That being said, with most loans, like if we were to close on May 15th, our first payment's not going to be until July 1st. So you've got kind of that cycle of time where you don't have any payments on it. I don't know, most hard money lenders that do those type of purchases, I think a lot of times they're interest only payments when it comes due. So it helps to cut it down just a little bit, but I don't know of any that are strictly like you don't have to make any payments until you sell the property type thing. But most you can kind of finagle depending on the close of escrow date, like 45 to 50 days if you close at the beginning of the month.
So that's why you see these guys, when they flip the houses, they usually want it flipped within 30 days, get it on the market, and try to sell it within two to 3 weeks, get that closing done. That way they don't have to pay anything, even in the interest wise. They just get it all closed out within 45 days and done.
Yeah,
Makes
if
sense.
you can get in and out and done, absolutely. The other difficulty comes into play too, is just know that when you're doing flips, if they have not been, if they've not owned the property for longer than 60 days, it cannot go VA, or sorry, not VA, FHA. FHA buyers require that the seller has been seasoned on the property for 60 days before they resell it.
Good to know.
Yeah, so it limits your buyer pool. Any other questions?
Amy, while we're on the thing about Ignite, the financial thing today, we had the financial class.
Yeah.
I'm gonna, as soon as I can break out of here. So how do you, so you have a personal savings account for your taxes and then an actual account for your business? Like, is that the best way to go? Like, just to kind of open, like at your bank, just to be like, I want to open up a second savings account and then put your 25 whatever % taxes away.
Yeah, it's good to have the account separated out so that you kind of set it up so you've got kind of a business savings and a business checking account. It doesn't have to be necessarily a business account as long as it's separate from your personal accounts, just so all your business purchases and everything go into there, your expenses and your deposits. And I usually use the savings account. I have my taxes in there as well, as that's where I put all of my like commission checks, and then I just transfer into the checking what I actually need for expenses.
Oh, what you're gonna use.
So it kind of all goes into that account.
Okay, and then for us newer people, like you think like what, I know I think there was a % that we should put aside to like re-put into our business. You know what I mean? Like a budget to like for me, like doing photography or doing the pest or doing those things, like what was that percent again?
So
Or is it
the
percent
the
or
goal
more?
is 40% gross profit, right? 40% profit is the goal. So that would be 60% set aside for business expenses. Your expenses are going to be a little less when you're an individual agent versus a business. But if you get in the habit now of living off of the 40% and sticking the rest into savings, then you'll have money there to put into those expenses and money set aside for taxes. So if you kind of make that your goal.
It's better just to take the 40% and like put that where you, whatever you can use it for, whatever you, your bills, your
Yep.
at-home bills, your whatever. Okay.
Absolutely.
Well, thanks for the vast amount of information, Amy and everybody. I gotta go take another kid to school.
All right. Well, I'll see you on Thursday on Ignite because I'm teaching on Thursday, and then we'll have our regular schedule for the next couple of weeks until we hand off to Carrie.
All righty.
All righty.
I want you to blow them all away on Thursday.
Let's see.
I'll be like, Amy was the best.
We'll
Yeah,
see.
don't you wish? Well, it's just amazing on there because some people are like, oh, we don't do that in our office, or oh, we don't. And I'm like, dang, we're really blessed over here. Like, you know, like I hope it doesn't change when you go, like when you log off, should I say. But it's like, I noticed people kept saying that, like, oh, we don't necessarily do script in our office, or oh, we don't have somebody that shows us that, or you know what I mean? So it was like
Yeah.
really, really cool to see like that ours is doing so good and so like team oriented, even though we're not on one team, you know? Yeah. That's cool.
Cool.
Got
Go
another
out there and sell your house, Sam.
cat.
What
What
Let's
did
get
you?
Sam's house sold for her.
Oh, I know.
Go sell your house, Sam.
I know. I don't. Anyone want to buy it?
It's pretty. It's beautiful.
People like it. They just don't like the price.
I know. Are they
Well,
willing to come
unfortunately,
down a
living
little bit?
in Green Valley is expensive.
It is, yeah. But it's like the hidden gem. And once people find it, they like it, but they don't know what it is or where it is. And I think that's
Yeah.
part of the problem, getting people out there.
Yeah,
Because
I would agree.
Yeah.
I got
I'd
a
like to
tax
sell it.
question, Amy.
Yeah, go ahead.
At tax season, when you're actually submitting everything in and you're claiming these business expenses,
Yes.
what do they actually ask you to kind of cough up, like as proof, so to speak? Oh, sorry.
Oh, yeah. So for business expenses,
Reg-
you want to keep records of your mileage. So you want to keep like a calendar, right? So as you're showing properties or whatever. So not only you want to track your mileage on like Mile IQ, but it's nice to make sure you put those appointments on your calendar so that you always have something. in writing to
Spreadsheet,
back it
okay?
up. Say that again.
Is it like, would a spreadsheet suffice?
A spreadsheet would suffice. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
You can also, and then just receipts is really what they're looking for. So they're looking for, if you said that you had a business expense on marketing for $350, they want to see that invoice for, if you ever got audited, they would want to see the
Mhm.
invoice for the photos for marketing, right? So
But only in the case if I got audited, right? I mean, of
Yep.
course I should have it available, but I don't necessarily have to provide every single receipt up front, right?
Nope. No,
Okay.
in fact, so I've got an accountant that does my monthly books for everything, and then she takes that and we submit that to the tax person that actually does the taxes, and they just go straight off that because they assume that's all been accurately accounted
Okay.
for.
Okay,
So, yep,
thank you.
absolutely.
First time for everything.
First time for everything. Any other questions?
Is that the new home, Amy?
This is the new home, full of boxes.
Nice ceiling.
Thank you. The beams were this ugly brown color and we had them painted. with the
Oh,
beams white.
it looks really nice with the planks.
Yeah, it really opened it up. Oh, my husband says, see, this is the problem. We also, there's the view from the couch. See, it's
wow.
me on the couch looking out the window,
Man, what a view.
right? And it's cloudy today, so you can't see the snow-covered mountain peaks out there because we've been getting a little bit of rain. You guys don't even know what rain is.
I used to. When I
You
lived in
barely
Hawaii,
know
it
what
rained
it
like
is,
every day.
You barely know what it is, Amy.
Right? I don't know. It's rained just about every day since we got here.
That's how it was when I lived in Hawaii. It was always
Yep.
rain, but then
Little
it's sunny
shower.
and then it's rain.
Nice. Makes it
But
all
my
green.
kids trip out like now living in California, they never see rain anymore.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy, crazy. Yeah, I love your beans, Amy.
Thank you.
You'll have to take us for a tour before you shove us off to
We
Cary.
will go for a tour. Hopefully we'll have it a little
Virtual
better
tour.
put together. We'll take you on a tour.
Yeah.
I did a Facebook Live the other day I gave you a tour of the outside. So if you go to my profile, that's still on there. You can rewatch the video of the tour of the exterior of the property.
Oh, okay.
It's very pretty. Very, very pretty.
Thank you.
It just makes us jealous.
Is this Coeur d'Alene area?
We are about an hour and 40 minutes north of Coeur d'Alene.
Oh, okay,
So yeah.
cool. My uncle lives in Coeur d'Alene. So Masumi then is closer to. Oh, now it's
Masumi's
slipping
close
my
to
mind.
Boise.
Oh,
So
okay,
she's about 8.5 hours, 9 hours from us.
I see.
So
Dang. She's as far as you are from us.
she is. We're no closer here than we were there.
Wow.
It's like when people say, "Oh, you're from California, you must live next to Disneyland." Or
I know, right?
No, like 7 hour, 8 hours away. It's like another state.
Yeah, but see, I feel like people expect California to be that big, and people don't realize that Idaho has that little panhandle that sticks way up there to Canada. And so,
Yeah, that's crazy. Adrian's boss wants to move to Idaho and retire in like 2 years. So I was like, okay, I need to know where Amy and Masumi are. So I'm like, tell him I have people there. I have friends.
yeah, most of the a lot of the law enforcement from the Vacaville Solano County area have moved to the Eagle Star area down by like where Masumi is. In fact, I think their neighborhood is almost all retired law enforcement from
That's a
California.
safe neighborhood.
Yeah.
Safe? I don't know if it's safe. I'm just gonna
But
say.
how about this? A lot of guns in that neighborhood. How about
There's a lot of
that?
guns.
Maybe not
Yeah,
safe.
I'm
Yeah,
not
you're right,
sure that-
Heather.
I'm not sure that I live with one for 23, almost 25 years. I promise you, they're not safe. They're a little bit cray-cray.
That's funny. Oh man.
Like, oh, I don't know if I'd want to be with some of those people after they retire.
That's funny.
Might shoot me. Just,
I
go
ahead,
ahead.
I did have a question on command, Amy.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna lie, I slacked off during the last few weeks, maybe last month. Anyways, on my task, and
Yeah.
is there a shortcut to delete all? No, I'm just kidding. Not gonna lie, folks, it's stressing me out seeing all these, and I'm like, okay, well, let's just go through them. But I'm like, I don't want to go through all of them. So besides going through each and every single person and like archiving if it, you know what I mean? Or
Is there a mass way to clear out your uncompleted tasks? Is that what you're asking?
you're past due. They're all-
Well, let me
Uh-oh.
see.
I'm like, I don't see it.
I don't know the answer to that question, but I'm looking, so
Okay.
hang tight. Just waiting for it to
No worries.
load.
Well, and I want to say that my task, because I was like, okay, let me just do my to-do, and like how with how many I have in my database to how many like show up every day is like probably like, I don't know, 10 tasks or something. But thankfully it saved my butt today because somebody had messaged me, and I think my daughter had my phone, and she was asking off the cake order, and I totally didn't. As soon as I saw her name, I was like, oh my gosh, that lady messaged me. And I went back and it was a week ago that she had texted me. But thankfully for my task, it helped me and it wasn't 5 weeks ago. But yeah. So anyways, there's a saving grace to having that as well. So
Nice.
that's a win on task. But
All right. So if you, oh yeah, totally. So hold on. We can do this. Share somewhere. Share screen.
Please share because I need that.
All right. So let's see how fast it'll load again. So right, so you log in and you're here on the task window. Well, it shows you like kind of your overview of everything. You want to open up your task list. So you can either do that by clicking here on tasks or over here on the left-hand column. The third option down is tasks.
got it.
So you want to go where your tasks are. And then we're going to wait patiently for them to magically appear. And then maybe so they sort here. So maybe if I just wanted past due, I could select that. And it's going to show up just my past due here at the top. I don't have any
Mhm.
past due because Abby's amazing and she takes care of all my tasks for me. So everybody needs
I
an
need
Abby.
an Abby.
So you can pull up specifically, and then here, if we click the little box at the top, see how it automatically selects all of the tasks?
Uh-huh.
And then I can come over here and I can hit archive, where I can hit complete.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Okay, awesome.
Okay.
That's so funny. I didn't even think about that button. And I use it all the time, but just never for that section. So that's so funny. Thank you. I knew there
There
had
you
to be a
go.
way.
There's your
Awesome.
learning tidbit for the day, how to clear out your overdue tasks because you're a
Yes.
slacker.
Yes, I'm a slacker. Not anymore. I got to get on track. But I mean, like, I'll probably go through some, but there's some that I'm just I don't have to click it a billion times, you know,
Yep.
like, and it's funny, like when I first set it up, I set up a lot of people on a 5-5-5, and there's certain people that I'm really feeling like I just need to hit quarterly, you know, and
Yeah.
so as I'm going through and they're coming up, I'm going and I'm changing that.
Okay.
So like I said, command is definitely something you're always constantly changing to
Yeah.
benefit the season, I guess you're in. But actually, I'm so happy you mentioned Abby because I'm curious on how that works with like, okay, like for instance, like posting on social media and stuff like that. Are you giving the content, or are your cyberbackers able to come up with the like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm curious how that
Abby
works.
comes up with 95% of my social media content. I think I've given her the packing tips in the last,
Got it.
I don't know, 6 months, maybe more than that. I've given her a little bit more, like maybe at the beginning, but most of what she comes up with is all on her own. And I always look at the post, I go, that's a really cool post. Oh, that was mine.
That's so funny. I like this one. That's funny. That's awesome.
Yeah. That's neat.
Awesome.
Oh, look, that was from myself. So yeah, so she comes up with most of the content for me.
Got it. And how
And
do
then
you
occasionally
like?
she'll ask me like, hey, I
Okay.
know you're writing today, send me pictures so I can use those for reels or whatever in the future or whatnot. So
Got it. And then how do we go about like looking into that pricing and just what that comes with and things like that?
I can set you up with a conversation. It's a business evaluation call with Kara.
Okay, got it. Okay. Yeah, if
I'll share the link.
oh, you shared a link? Okay, hold on. Gotta go find it.
I will. I'll share the link with you.
Oh, you'll
I'll
share
send
it.
you over
Okay.
her contact. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you. Yeah, it's definitely something that like that part's been bugging me, not being able to stay consistent. Definitely through, you know, like anything going through the transactions recently of just knowing like, you know, like I was doing my marketing thing and stuff like that. And I enjoy it, but I'm like, but it's just like, it's not happening. And then, like I said, my command and things like that. And so I'm like, I need something, but I also need to like be very strategic with my money. But ultimately I really feel like that brings value in a huge way. So I need information. No, I'm
If
just
it
kidding.
brings you one additional transaction this year, it basically pays for itself
Definitely. Yeah.
for the whole year.
And
So,
then I know you're using Abby, but like for birthday cards and things like that, are you using your Cyberbacker for that? Or are you using a company to send out that? Because I know some people have, they just send it to this and it sends out all those types of things. How do
yep,
you do
so I
that?
have a send out cards subscription that allows
Uh-huh.
me to send out cards for whatever occasions or whatever, unlimited amounts throughout the month. And Abby does all that for me. So she has
Got it.
access to my send out cards account. So we send out birthday cards to all my clients. She sends out on Mondays. She pulls the list of people who just got their license that are local and sends them congratulations cards. She sends the home anniversary cards. So we're going to work on rolling out like thank you cards to close transactions. So there's lots of little things in there that you can do through send out cards. And instead of paying per card, it's just a flat fee per month.
Got it. Okay. And I'm on, it's literally just called Send Out Cards. That's the
Yep.
company, right? Okay,
Yep.
perfect. I have it up on my computer. There was one more question on is that. Oh, so you know how I heard it, Heather was just talking about it. Heather Estabaz is how you say it. I always jack up her last name. Anyways, not Garcia. That's easy for me to say.
You're like Heather E.
So, yeah, there we go. She was doing her Ignite class, and she had mentioned it, just brought it back top of mind of like when you close transactions with people, of being able to give a gift to the agent on the other side of the transaction of the one thing and things like that. What do you typically do for, or do you do, you know what I mean, for agents that you do transactions with?
So I am horrible at that portion of my systems and processes, which we've been talking about fixing. But I think sending out like, the MREA or the one thing or shift or whatever is a great kind of little thank you to go along with it. And we recommend that you send it to their office, not their home address, because then the other agents in their office see that they were getting something, something cool or whatnot. And so I use send out cards. There is a company called AM Cards as well that does a similar thing, but they have in their database of additional gifts that you can add on. So both of them have like gifts that you can add on. They have like the one thing and some of the Keller Williams books in there that you can send out through that.
Got it. Okay. Awesome.
So,
And you said AM Cards, right?
AM Cards, yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah. Like I said, I'm just trying to, just trying to put my ducks in a row. And then,
Yes.
Since Heather Garcia is on here, and I think, what was the company's name that you use for your signs?
We need signs.
We need signs. We need signs.
And
Well,
just so everyone knows,
everything else
too,
popped up.
my open house signs are still at the office. Some of them, they're just in the annex building, the studio next door. So if you guys ever need to borrow open house signs, never hesitate to reach out to Shannon and ask if you can borrow them, because she's ultimately not doing open houses. So if
Got it.
anybody needs signs, just throwing that out there.
Awesome. Okay, last question. The signs that I borrowed for you for the garage sale, where did you pick those up through? Do you remember?
I have no idea.
No, and those are just like, I don't know. I guess I'm looking for like the sign with like metal stakes. I don't know how to
Yeah.
search it.
So those are just like corrugated plastic signs.
Okay.
And I don't think.
Those were amazing, by the way. Thank
Was it
you.
right?
Yes.
I was just seeing if they came up. If I searched, I don't think they will. I have no idea where I ordered those.
Okay.
No.
No.
But yeah, just look for, I think if you probably did a web search for like,
I just pulled up something off gotprints.com and it was like $14. Does that sound like maybe probably about the price you paid? $14? Does that
per
sound right?
sign?
It looks like per sign.
Oh, no.
Like,
I can't
like you
imagine we
paid
paid that much per sign.
okay.
Signs.com has yard
Google it.
signs, corrugated plastic yard signs.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you Google it, there's some for 80 cents a piece.
Oh, geez. Fine.
Yeah, so
You
I
said-
would think you could get them much cheaper than that.
Okay.
Vistaprint has some for like, it looks like those are $11, but it comes with a fancier stand than what I got. So usually they have the option that you can just buy the sign and then you can also buy the little leggies.
Okay, got it.
Let's see, wire stakes.
Okay, I see some for 84 cents too.
Yeah, so they're gonna get you on the wire stake side of it. So just look around and kind of price it out and see kind of who gives you the best deal for those.
Perfect. Okay, awesome. Awesome. Cool. I think those were all my.
There's just plain
Mine.
yard sale signs. A lot of times I have at the dollar store, but
Those aren't as nearly as
Yeah.
cool.
yeah, they're not.
I gotta
as-
show you. Oh,
Amazing
show
garage
you
sale. The
guys.
thing too with the amazing garage sale signs was our intention with those was that we were gonna utilize those for our clients. So we, do your annual garage sale, but then make sure that would give your, your other clients a touch point where you could be like, hey, just a reminder, like we have garage sale signs available. If you're ever having a garage sale, just let us know how many you need and we're happy to, drop them off the week
Oh.
up so that you can utilize them. So if they're getting used more
Right.
often, the wire stakes are easy to replace if they get bent, because they will, but it just kind of made it a good touch point.
that's a really good one because there's so many people that are doing it, and they, like I got so much good feedback from it that I'm probably gonna do an end of the summer garage sale
Yeah.
as well. So I had other blocks around. They were like, "What? How did we get a part of this?" So
Yeah.
so I was like, "All right." So I'm like, I think I'm gonna expand my walking. Or how do they call it? With for us newbies that we're not supposed to really spend money. What is it? Sweat money? No. What is it? How are they called? And so I'm like, I'm gonna be dead sexy by the end of the summer because I'm gonna lose a lot of weight walking this whole entire neighborhood. No. Come on, Bella. Yeah, so all right. Anyway, sorry, my dog. But no, those signs were great. And it was funny, my daughter, and I didn't intend, but I had extra signs because some people forgot, or not forgot, they didn't read the flyer. So next time I make sure it's really big to contact me to sign up, but they didn't
Yeah.
read it. So then there was people that partaked in it that I wasn't aware of, but thankfully one was across the street. And then I had my husband go scope out, make sure there wasn't anybody else that added up the day. And so then I got signs. Well, I had extra ones because I borrowed the one from you. And my daughter thought it was fun to go put them in. So my house is on the corner, but it's also like a ranch style. So it's really, long in the front. And so she put all the signs going around to the corner to my side garage. And so it was like this, you just follow the arrows around the corner. It was hecka funny. I was like, I could have done that better myself. I didn't even think about it. I just put one and she was all, let's line them up. And it looked really cool. It was like, come this way.
Nice.
So yeah, but no, those are really, and I didn't realize you had a logo on it. I was like, oh, that's so smart. So put the logo on it. One, then it's, you can be like, no, that's my sign. But two, people get to see that logo. And
Yep.
yeah, so that was really nifty. So I was like, I got to get me some of these. So
Melissa, check.
Cool.
I found your perfect signs.
Oh, you said the chat? Okay, let's see. All right. Ta-da-ta-da. On Amazon. You little turd.
I like it. I like it.
I love it. Those are a winner. I think I'll get a lot lot of attention from
Just
those.
get one. That'd be funny. Just get one. People will come just because it was so funny.
That is funny. Yeah. No, that's awesome. Well, cool. Well, thank you for all that. I'm going to put that all into play and I'm going to go archive my whole entire database. No, I'm just kidding. Not the whole database, the task. That
Just
would
your
be so
task.
cute. Gone. Funny.
All right.
All right, guys.
Well, I'll
Take
see
care.
y'all who are doing Ignite on
Bye.
Thursday. And if you have any questions, feel free to holler.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.